Hi dear students, today I am going to discuss a curriculum domain at vocational level. Yes, this is very important when the child grow up elder about 18-year old, then you require some sort of curriculum where you can train the child and make the child independent, so that they can go out and they can work independently in the society. So let us understand how it has been fixed, and what are the different domains in the vocational curriculum. So let us see this occasional let us see the vocational level. See, this vocational level can be discussed in two ways. Yes, that is special school based vocational curriculum and school based vocational curriculum. So, see, special school based vocational curriculum is like, I think you have seen a VAB. So, this VAB has a different domains, around 8 domains, whereas school based vocational curriculum also have similarly around 7 to 8 domain, which we will discuss. We are not going to discuss each item of the domains in detail, but rather we will try to understand what are those domains and what are the similarities. Okay, so at least if you write one approach in your exam, that's fine, but here just I want to explain in differently how the curriculum of vocational looks in the special school and how the vocational curriculum looks in the regular schools. Okay, so both have a domains. Okay, so let us discuss what are those domains. See, now domains of special school based vocational curriculum. In this you have total 8 domains. First one is your personal, communication, social behavior, functional academics, safety skills, domestic behavior, mobility and hand functioning, and the 8th one is your occupational skills. See, all these domains plays important role in developing generic skill of children above 18 years. Now, what is generic skill? Generic skill is a basic skill making the child ready to move further, making the child ready to work, because in vocational the child will be getting trained in specific trades, in specific job. So that's why this training, the particular training in all the particular training all in this all 8 domains is very important, so that the child can boost independently when they go at work in society. So the domain items now: personal skills, anticipate, need, use toileting independently. That means this you need to train so that the child can become independently when they go for the work or when they go out in the public places. So maintain cleanliness, like bathing, or you can say brushing or combing, or dressing. There are a lot of other cleanliness where the child need to maintain when they grow up. Communication, can use a gesture as adjacent to verbal communication. Even the child is able to communicate, he has to have some sort of gestural, so that he can express his need to the supervisor when he go for the work. Communicate using word, at least the child must have 4 to 5 phrase words, so that they can express their need to supervisor. Social behavior, see, sit properly in the classroom situation. It is an activity which you can teach the child to develop the social behavior. Greet peer and elder appropriately. Yes, this is very important. When they go at the work site or when they come to the school, they have to greet peer to develop the good social behavior. Cooperate in a group situation. Yes, when you give some activity, they must work together, they must understand the rules, concepts, so that they can develop their social behavior. Let us see the functional academics. See, if you see a web checklist, you have around 30 items. I have just taken few, but it will be a similar kind of your pre-vocational curriculum. It is an extension of your pre-vocational, where the child is taught in occasional area in generic skill unit, like reading his or her name, reading his or her address, reading some survival words like poison, man, woman, hot, stop, toilet, danger. There are a lot of other vocabularies and survival words where the child need to understand and identify so that he can survive when he goes out or workplace. Safety skills: use stairs, corridors in a safe manner, which is very important. Aware of hazards in the environment. Okay, then domestic behavior is also important, like the child must have or he must or she must know how to sweep the room or dust the furniture or set a table for a lunch. So these are all activities important to make the child independent, and so that they can be independent and they go out in the society and work, which is which is a good skill and which can move towards independent living if you expose these things to the child. Okay, so anyways, I will be discussing about VAPs in detail later so that you can understand, because in vocational unit you have around three phases which we need to talk in detail that you can understand appropriately. Then mobility functioning. See, walks independently, but here the walking independently, it doesn't mean that you have to train walking where the child has physical problem. No, the walking independently here means whether the child is able to walk around in his neighborhood, whether he can go and come independently, whether he has a ability to functions or go to the grocery, that kind of things. Climb and descend with the alternate feet, yes, whether he is able to use his legs appropriately or not. So likewise, can pour without spilling, to check his fine motor and gross motor skills so that we can understand his functioning ability, so that when you place them to some work they will be independent. Occupational skills: understand and complete a task, which is very important. So if you are giving some activity, make sure that the child is able to understand the task. Okay, increase speed of work when guided. If you guide, whether the child is able to increase the speed of activity or work which you have given. If not, you need to train, you need to plan the transition program. Rise and leave from residence to school on time. That means it is also kind of occupational skills where you need to check whether the child is able to go independently from school, from the workstation to at home on time. Let us see a school-based vocational curriculum. Now, in school-based vocational curriculum, we have domains like independent living skills. Now, here, see the similarities. In the VAPs, you have a personal skill first. Here also you have, but this is how they have mentioned. Let us show you first. See, they have total 7 domains in school-based vocational curriculum. Most of the time this particular domain is carried out in the regular schools. Independent living skills, that means the child must be able to do all work independently, whether it is personal skills, whether it is social skills or any other skills. Okay, he must do independently. Interpersonal skills, socialization, that is all your independent living skills. Everyday knowledge, that means what happening around the world, what happening in his locality, he must be aware of it. Okay, functional mathematics, that means here the word functional means a basic. See, he must understand the basic knowledge of mathematics, which is called functional mathematics. Functional literacy, he must read, write, okay, and understand. So that is your functional literacy. At least he must write his name, read his name, phone number, that kind of thing he must understand. Then community living, what kind of the skill is required to interact in the community or to live with the other people in the community. So that we are not going to discuss in detail, rather few things. This is just a domain. Okay, recreational and leisure skills, it's like an indoor and outdoor game, whether the child interacts or not. See, in the VABs you haven't seen the recreational and leisure, whereas here you have, because it's a regular school, that is a special school, they also must have in that, but total they have just mentioned 8 domains. And then career education, that means based on the child interest, in which area the child wants a training or where child wants to go, so that they have a facility in that particular curriculum. So these are the domains. So this curriculum framework is developed based on the content and the framework of key learning area, that is called KLA, that is key learning area, and the need of the student with mild to moderate level of intellectual disability in reference to themselves, families, socials, works, community, acceptance and leisure. That means this domain has been framed based on these two criteria, based on these two factors, okay, so that they can become independent and live independently. So let us see the conclusion about this. See, vocational curriculum is very important for children with adult intellectual disability, because it helps them to develop a necessary skills for trade training, that trade training in the sense of kind of vocational training or job training, and employment of all various sectors. Therefore, the responsibility of us, including parents and other stakeholders, those who directly involve in the welfare of disability, must give right and appropriate exposure. Then only they will be independent and they will live independently. They will support the community one day. So I think you have understood about the occasional level of curriculum. So here they do not demand about in detail understanding of the curriculum domain, rather just to understand what are the domains and what are the items and how it is placed. Okay, so you can write either what do you say both or at least one curriculum domain. So basically you have to just write the domains like personal, social, academics, safety, mobility, hand functioning, all these things, and write the content why it is important. Okay, so I think we have get it. So I will be coming with other topic in due time. Till then, bye bye.